Bam! My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Y'all know what we doing, man. We talking boxing. We doing what we do. Salute to everybody tuning in. Y'all know what it is. JJ's in the building. Side, salute my brother. Bam. Y'all know what we about to do. We talking boxing on this beautiful Saturday morning. What a beautiful day, my people. Let me start off by saying good morning. Those of you tuning in, you know what it is, man. I'm Jay Smith, and we about to talk this real boxing talk over here. Doing what we do. No conspiracies, no making stuff up out of thin air, no trying to put stuff in the air for clicks and views. We talking real boxing, my peoples. Let's get it in. You probably seen the news, man. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury they're gonna go in 2026. We finally gonna get this fight. Some people are gonna say too little, too late, and it's past when it should have been. But guess what? We're all gonna tune in. We're all gonna watch this heavyweight showdown. Cause even if, Fury took a couple L's, AJ taking a couple of L's, we still want to see this fight. There's a rivalry here that's been brewing for so many years that we're all going to tune in. Even if both guys are past their prime or their best days. And we don't know that yet about AJ. We're assuming that because he took a couple of losses and he hasn't been able to grab a title again. But we don't know yet. And with Fury, the same thing. It's like, his age, can he really... But these are two world championship caliber boxers. So I want to see this fight, and I'm pretty sure it's going to do great numbers. Wherever they fight is going to sell out. So no matter how many people say that this is past its time, and some people are even going to say, I don't want to watch this. I don't care for this fight anymore. They're going to tune in. So let's make predictions, my people. Who you got winning this fight? And I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a very competitive showdown. Two big heavyweights, two guys who won at the highest level. You can expect a great fight between Anthony Joshua and, of course, Tyson Fury. I will point out, they're not going to fight each other next based on the report that came out in Ring Magazine. It's not next. Supposedly, they're both going to fight on the same card versus a different opponent. They're going to win. And then they'll meet up after. Hopefully, nobody fumbles the bag. Because remember, that's exactly what was supposed to happen when Ryan Garcia and Rollies was in the same card in New York City. Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, they was on the same card. Well, Ryan Garcia lost. So now, the plan is for AJ and Fury to fight on the same card. They both win, and afterwards, they go against each other. So, again, I know a lot. I can already see it. People say, no, this is way too late. That's it. But they're going to tune in. No matter how much you criticize this fight or you think it was too late or you say you're not going to watch it, you're going to watch. And it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be an entertaining fight to watch because no matter what you say about both fighters, they both bring it. Tyson Fury's going to bring it. Win, lose, or draw, he could go down on his shield or take you down. But Tyson Fury's going to bring it. And the same thing with AJ. He could go down on his shield, but he could put you out too. So I like this fight. Cameron Terrell. Shakur weighs 175. Weight bullying at his best. Man, listen, just say you don't like Shakur Stevenson. Just say that, bro. You don't like the guy. That's all that is. Weight bullying, nobody uses that but fans who don't like a fighter. Nobody uses that, bro. You gotta stop that. If you tell me who are your favorite fighters, Cameron Terrell, I promise you, I'm going to be able to say the same thing. But I'm not interested in saying the same thing. There's no point in weight bullying. He's weight bullying. He's the best, and that bothers you, so you need to find an angle. The lunatic Fury versus AJ. I have it being a draw. Ooh. A draw in a rematch, I guess. Because if it's a draw, it's going to be competitive. Wes does it. Morning, Jay Smith and chat. Ooh, I'm at the red light. But listen, on my way through traffic, salute, my brother. And you already know, drive safe on this beautiful Saturday morning. Karen Terrell. Stop, Jay. Somebody that, I can't read your name, but you're saying that Inoue is fake. I don't know why would you say that Inoue is fake. The monster has proven to be the monster, bro. Two times undisputed. How you gonna say he's fake, bro? Eye for eye. Big J, what's good, bro? It's been a minute. But who we cooking, bro? Now, right now, we just cooking up this sweet science for everybody on this beautiful Saturday morning. Everybody tuning in. If you just showed up, this is a brand new episode of Boxing for Breakfast, man. Giving you this early, and healthy dosage of sweet science. Don't be ghost watching, man. Double tap that screen, man. 20 minutes of action, be cooking for y'all. And I got 6 likes. 6 likes. Man, y'all doing me wrong, my people. What, like, why y'all ducking that, double tapping that screen, bro? You know it's fake. He has no technique, and it's overrated. I disagree with you, bro. Inoue is sharp. The speed, the movement, the footwork. How you gonna say he got no technique, man? You don't like Inoue. Maybe you... Are you a fan of Casimero? If you're a fan of Casimero, then you might just be an Inoue hater, bro. Because Inoue nice. Nice with it. Side. Is that a Japanese guy hating on the monster? Oh, wait a minute. Yo, fam, let me ask you. Where you from? Because I can't read your name, right? But where you from? I want to know, where is somebody hating on the monster from? Let me find out. My Asiatic brother hating on the monster. Yo, I want you to think about this. Naoya Inoue has been ranked top 3 pound for pound for like the last 3-4 years. He's the monster for a reason. He the monster, my people. But we also have to take this into consideration. AJ versus Fury is supposed to go down next year. But right now, Mr. Anthony Joshua got something else ahead of him that he got to deal with. Take that into consideration, my peoples. Mr. Anthony Joshua has Jake Paul ahead of him. That's this month. 2 weeks. Is it 2 or 1? I think it's 2 weeks. It's going down. I actually have heard people say Jake Paul's going to win this fight. Crazy. Jake Paul's going to win this fight. I don't know. I don't know about Jake Paul winning this fight, my peoples. Now, he not scared of Casimero, bro. He not scared. That's not facts. Sorry, Casimero ain't never been on Inoue level. I remember that fight was being talked about for years ago. Yeah. But Casimero, man, he was acting up, man. Not taking things seriously and acting crazy and not making weight. And Casimero fumbled the bag. Look, we could have got Inoue versus Casimero, but Casimero goofball, B. Victor J. I used to think AJ always had the advantage over Fury with his combination of skills and power. Do you got AJ beating Fury? Victor J, when Inoue destroys Junto, will you give him credit? You see? Now Inoue's gonna destroy everybody. He's gonna destroy everybody. Side, Casimero ain't never been on Inoue level. Man, we all know that. That's all facts. Mr. Simpson, do you think Errol Spence will ever fight again? He says, I'll fight when I'm ready. I've heard that from his own mouth. So honestly, I think that he will fight again. And you know why? Errol Spence got money. He got money. He don't gotta fight. But I can tell you that fighters, when they leave boxing for a while and they still young, like, Errol Spence is not young like that, but he's still within his prime, in his mid-30s. So he's in an age that he can still come back and compete at the highest level. When fighters are there and they've been active, they miss it. They miss the action. They miss, getting that smoke, trading leather, being in everything that goes with fighting, the training camp, the stepping in the ring, the crowd, the cheering, the everything. So I believe that he's already gonna be getting to that point where he misses the sport and he just wanna fight. And of course the bag that comes with it. So I think we will see Errol Spence fight again. I think we will. Tony T, I believe it's a good money grab for both of them because they retired. Just like I believe that Usyk is giving Wilder the same opportunity. Yeah, Usyk, that looks like it's just Usyk giving Wilder an opportunity to make some money, I guess. But Wilder got mad money. That's what I don't understand. You see, that's what I don't understand. Deontay Wilder got money that he don't know what to do with it. So Usyk, and it's the same thing with AJ and Fury. Both of them got money that, bro, these heavyweight champions have been making a lot of millions for a lot of years. They don't need to be giving each other opportunities. Inoue is top 3 pound for pound. Crazy. Bro, I don't know, like, do you actually watch the top? Like, okay, we done with Inoue, my guy. Well, we already got that you don't like him. It's all good. Inoue has no power. Okay? Take that 24-hour break. We got you now. Handle that. Oh, he was spamming with Inoue. That little 24-hour break gonna do you right. Cameron Terrell. Jay, I didn't say it. Shakur did. I didn't say that you said it. I didn't say that. My point is that all that weight bully stuff is irrelevant. If we both make weight, we fight. Fans use that, oh, he a weight bully, when they don't like a fighter. Don't you know that Tank Davis done been at 180 between fights and shrink down to 135, but you never call him a weight bully because that's your guy. You like him. See? So fans call weight bully the fighters that they don't like. And then the fighters that they like be doing the exact same shit and you play dumb. When it's the fighter you like, you don't know, right? You didn't know. So newsflash, buddy, everybody does that. Everybody be walking around 20, 30 pounds above where they fight. Newsflash. It's very few people that are actually walking around 2, 3 pounds for over when they fight. Eye for eye. Errol's a promoter now. Corey B. They missed the smell of the gym. Jason has get him the fuck out of here. Yeah, you can already see he a dummy. He a dummy. Let him watch the show. You see? Showed up, spent enough time, and then got showed out. Pack that goofball out of here. Corey B. Deontay taking care of like 12 family members. No, I know Deontay take care of a lot of people, but trust me, he got, the type of money that he got, it's not like he's going to be out there buying everybody cars for Christmas and buying everybody, he taking care of them, taking care of bills and shit like that. But the money he got, bro, trust me, this man don't got to work a day in his life. One more day he don't got to do. It's money like that he got. YT student. What about the one guy 49-0? Why can't that be done no more? I don't know what you mean by that can't be done no more. It can be. It can be done, but people not worrying about numbers. They worrying about accomplishments. There's people out there with records like that you never heard of because they never beat nobody. Side. When is Murtasaliev fighting Kelly? Backward versus Boots after. Ooh, listen, man. Backward Murtasaliev versus Jerome Boots Ennis is a heck of a fight. Heck of a fight. But I want to see if we're going to get Boots versus Virgil. Jerome Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz is a fight that we've been wanting for the last, 3-4 years? Since they was at welterweight, we've been wanting this fight. So hopefully, we can get Boots versus Virgil next. And my peoples, we've been going at it for 30 minutes, man. I don't even got 20 likes. Why y'all ducking that like button, man? Like, double tap that screen like that. Pop, pop, pop. I'm cooking for y'all, man. It's a free, healthy dosage of sweet science. Eye for eye. AJ's going to treat Jake Paul like a McDonald's Happy Meal. Boy, stop playing with your food and eat. Because he's going to eat, and eat. Listen, bro. I try to tell people. Anthony Joshua is approaching this fight the same way he did Francis Ngannou. Like, oh, this dude coming from MMA and he think that he could beat me? This guy's gonna come from MMA. Oh, this disrespectful. I'm a two-time heavyweight champion of the world, and you coming from MMA? Okay. I'ma holler at you. And what happened? Pulverized him. The brutal knockout. That's what happened. What you think he gonna do to Jake Paul? He like, oh, this dude right here, he really believed that he could beat me. You see, fighters take mental notes, my peoples. I remember the Human Algorithm, Jay Stradamus. I remember about, I don't know if it was 6-8 months ago, when Jake Paul actually did a video saying that he could beat AJ, that AJ was washed. AJ seen that. Little mental note of it was taken. So when the opportunity to fight this guy that said he could beat me came across the table, AJ's looking at him like, oh, so you really believe that you could beat me? My peoples, if you really think about it, it's disrespectful for a guy who never had an amateur career, who has such a short and little bit of boxing experience, who's a low-level boxer compared to championship caliber guys. It's disrespectful for Jake Paul to think that he could beat Anthony Joshua, but somehow he believes it. This is not a fake fight, my people. Those who think it's fake. No. It's a real fight. And Anthony Joshua is going to approach it like, oh, you disrespected me? You really believe that you could beat me? I'm going to show you a little something. If the referee or his corner don't save him, it's going to be a devastating blow, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be calling that fight live, by the way. Y'all know how I do the commentary. It's going to be the left to the mouthpiece, the right to the nose piece, the right to the wig piece, ladies and gentlemen. Devastating blows from Anthony Joshua. We've seen the heavy artillery. It's going to be that type of beatdown. I'm trying to tell y'all what it is. MKG 100. Boxing it's a half fight, bro. Ngannou will end any boxer in a real fight. No boxer can beat MMA fighter in a proper fight, but we're not talking about a proper fight. We're talking about boxing, my guy. We're talking about a sport. In that sport of boxing, MMA guys, they get beat up every time. There's a reason for that. You're not going to show up in the ring and not get beat up. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Mr. Simpson, do you think that Virgil Ortiz people are scared to let him fight Boost. That's what it looked like. Honestly, that's what it looked like. Eye for eye. AJ is going to treat Jake Paul. Yeah, man. He gonna beat him up, bro. Beat him up. The Lunatic Librarian. Like and subscribe. Appreciate it, my guy. Hell yeah. Get this healthy dosage of sweet science. MK, boxing is half fight. Oh, yeah, okay. I got that. I seen that. Murtazaev beats everyone at 154. Ooh, the Lunatic Librarian says Murtazaev beats everyone at 154. In my opinion, Ortiz, Boost, Fedora, Thurman, Madrimov, etc. Whoa. I'm going to tell you like this. That's high praise for Bakram Murtazaev, but I respect him, man. This guy can fight. He's scary. He's a bully out there. He a bully. He fight like a bully. And he's a problem for everybody. I'm not going to sit here and say that he beats everybody, but he caused problem for everybody. I got Boost beating him, but he going to cause Boost problems. He going to give him, some trouble. And it's going to take some figuring out. The Lunatic Librarian, Nagano did an interview where he stated he felt his water was contaminated on something, made him off for the AJ fight. Oh, this I don't be down with the conspiracy, man. I don't be down with that. He got knocked out. That's what happened. That's what happened. That AJ right hand was contaminated. Shit had melatonin. Eye for eye. That's funny. R. Kelly believed he could fly. Shit. Corey B. Don't fall asleep on the call. MKG. These boxers need to try MMA. Fight for once. Now they don't need to. That doesn't make any sense. If I'm a boxer, I'd never go do MMA. You see, that's what you don't understand, MKG. Boxers understand that they can go and compete with MMA guys. MMA guys, since they throw punches in MMA, they feel like they can compete with boxers, and that's why they be getting beat up. Stop getting in the ring. Look, Canelo Alvarez said it best. Boxers don't belong in the octagon. MMA fighters don't belong in the ring. It's that simple. MKG is that simple. You see, boxers, they not trying to get in the octagon. They know. They know that's not their field. It's MMA people thinking, oh, let me go box. You're going to keep getting beat up. You're going to keep getting... Jake Paul will beat your ass. In MMA, you was killing it. Jake Paul beat your ass in boxing. That's how you know. It's levels. Ray, boxers will get smashed. But like I told you, boxers don't do MMA. They don't kick. They don't choke. They don't do none of that stuff. They're not going to go compete in a different sport that doesn't do that. Now, MMA guys, they punch in their sport. But they learn when they go to boxing that they can't punch like boxers. You're going to get beat up. Ray Mercer destroys Silva with one punch. Devastating blow, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, listen, bro, I'm glad you brought that one up because I forgot about that. What a devastating blow, my guy. Whoa, boom. Get your goofy ass out of here. Side, why do MMA fighters always want to come to boxing? Because they get paid peanuts. That's why boxers don't go to MMA, MKG. That's what you got to understand, man. You think a boxer is going to go do MMA for 3 peanuts and a chocolate bar? You got to be kidding, bro. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. When they start paying real money, you're going to see boxers going over there. Who the hell is going to go do a whole new sport that they never practiced for popcorn and 3 chocolate chips? You wildin'. Mr. Simpson, do you think Ryan Garcia would have beaten Devin Haney if he wasn't on steroid and made weight? I mean, it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say because I don't know if he had anything, whatever he had, if that had an effect in the fight. I've read reports about how the percentage that was in his system could not have affected his performance in any way. So I don't know, to be honest. Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia seen each other a lot in the amateurs. And that fight, to me, felt like Ryan had his number. Because let me tell you what, steroids ain't going to give you skills. If you believe that he had enough steroids to have given him the strength, right? It's not going to give you skills. It's not going to give you the skills to beat somebody. Like if any of you guys take steroids and you get in the ring with Jake Paul, he's going to knock you out. Jake Paul will knock your ass out brutally if you take steroids throughout your whole training camp. You're still going to sleep. So steroids ain't going to give you skills, my peoples. Don't get it twisted now. Don't get confused about that. So the way the fight played out, to me, it looked like Ryan had his number. Like, I know how to land these shots on you. I know how to land that left hook. Because you have to remember, Devin Haney spent the whole training camp telling Ryan, all you got is a left hook. That's all you got is a left hook. And he got caught with it a bunch of times. So one thing is saying he's stronger. Strength don't win fights. So you got to have the skills to land those shots. Let's see the rematch. Let's see how the rematch plays out. Confused. Onga bunga. Skill steroids don't even give you a desired strength. But that's what I'm talking about. Ryan Garcia is a guy who can box. Been in there with Devin a lot. We're going to see in the rematch. Because he did have the 3 pounds. He had an advantage when it comes to weight. Come on now. We have to acknowledge that. Let's see when the rematch happens. And we're finally going to find out who's who. Bro, every pro athlete is on some sort of steroids. Nah, I don't believe it. I mean, I know that's not a fact. Unless you want to call regular supplements a steroid, you know, because you're saying some sort of steroid. Joe Spina, bro. Jake Paul trains like a real pro, but he don't have a chance against Joshua, Olympic gold medalist. Joe Spina, I'm with you 100%. This is crazy. Anthony Joshua's going into this fight feeling disrespected, feeling like, oh shit, he think he could beat me. They asked him, AJ, do you think it's crazy that this fight is happening, that he wants to fight you? And he said, no, it's not crazy. He believed he could beat me. There's nothing in the contract. No, it's a fight. He think he could beat me. I'm going to give him a fight. We're going to see. This guy feel disrespected. Like, oh, shit. This dude with zero amateur background, with 0 big wins, 0 championship experience, he thinks he could beat me. Okay, I'm going to have to show him. The same way he had to show Francis Ngannou, he's going to show Jake Paul. Or all the people who've been dying to see Jake Paul go to sleep, they're going to get that. AJ's going to give you that. The lunatic librarian. I actually challenged Jake Paul, KSI, Logan Paul, all before they had their first Paul versus K. Did you challenge him over social media? Over social media, or did you challenge him in their face? Ray, just the legal kind. Okay then, but if it's the legal kind, that's different, because everybody, listen. If you don't take no supplements, if you don't take nothing, your ass is cooked. You're at a too much physical disadvantage. So, of course, they're going to take supplements, vitamins, and all this other stuff. Of course. But you would be at a too much disadvantage if you did not. Let me give you an example, my brother. I run, right? I'm a runner. I run marathons, right? Yo, when I started running, I used to take nothing. Just drink water. That's it. Just drink water. So by the time I'm at mile number 20 A full marathon is 26 miles. By the time I'm at marathon number 20, my legs are cramping, my body's hurt, and I see these other dudes that I left behind pass me by. Breathing, looking strong, like, what the fuck? How you been running for 3 hours just like me and you going hard like that? So then little by little I got put on. Oh shit, wait a minute. These motherfuckers is taking calcium, they taking vitamin C, they taking vitamin B, they drinking a gel during the mid-run, they taking all type of shit. So when I started taking all type of shit, I started getting those results too. I got my best time in 10K, my best time in 21K, my best time in the marathon. Now I see how we doing it. Ain't nobody doing this shit raw. Nobody raw dogging in my Jeep. That's just the deal. That's the real deal Holyfield right there. If you're going to be raw dogging it, your ass is cooked. Cooked. How you going to go 12 rounds with somebody who been taking all type of legal vitamins? His body's different than yours. He built different. Exposilla, Jake Paul going to raw dog Joshua. Man, listen. Jake Paul's going to sleep brutally. Brutally. My peoples, we've been going at it for 45 minutes. Not even 20 likes. Come on, man. I'm cooking for you. Cooking this healthy dosage of sweet science. Double tap that screen, my peoples. Hit that like button. And make your predictions. Don't be ducking that prediction now. Who you got winning this fight? Anthony Joshua or Jake Paul? Let it be known, my peoples. The lunatic librarian. I've seen guys eat pre-workout and then go spar. I seen that too. I seen that. I did it and it didn't go good for me. It didn't work out for me. Exposezilla. Bet Jake Paul by TKO. It's a lock. Man, listen, you bet Jake Paul by TKO, you putting your money in the garbage. Garbage. That's what you're doing with your money. He go to sleep brutally. Why you want people to lose their money like that, bro? Ray, don't spar that guy. Posty Trap. If he hits Jake the way he hit Francis, Jake dies. If he dies, he died. Yo, now listen. He's going to put Jake Paul out. The only way that I don't see Jake Paul going to sleep is if the referee or his corner save him. That's the only way. Confused. Can you compare Jake Paul with... Nah, I can't make that comparison, bro. It's hard for me to make that comparison. Francis Kawhi, Joshua KO, first 2 minutes. Damn, that quick. I don't think the knockout's gonna come that quick. And you know why? Because Anthony Joshua is so considerably bigger than Jake Paul that I can tell you for a fact, part of Jake Paul's strategy is gonna be his footwork, is gonna be his movement, is gonna be making AJ chase him. That's going to be part of his strategy. And I don't know if he's going to start clinching. Like as soon as AJ unloads, if we're going to see Jake Paul clinching, I'm not sure about that. But we're going to see some movement. It's all about how successful is he going to be at moving and how much is he going to be willing to engage. If Jake Paul is going into this fight thinking that he can win, like he's going to fight, he's going to get knocked out early. But if he goes on survival mode, this thing could go a few rounds. This thing could go 4 or 5 rounds. It could even go the distance. If he go on survival mode, turns it into a clinch fest and a run fest, it could go the distance, bro. The lunatic librarian. I asked the other day, can Jake land the Ruiz left hook or the Dubois right hand? Is Joshua chinning? Nah, I don't think Anthony Joshua's chinning. I think that's fake news. He's going to be able to take what Jake Paul got, but anything can happen. That's true. Jake Paul has the power to land the right shot at the right moment that can sleep anybody, including AJ. But does he have the skill to land that shot? Nope, he don't. He don't, my peoples. He don't have the skills to land it. And the notion that AJ is chinny, that's false. That's false. Anybody who eat the type of punches that put him down is also going down. That's what people don't understand. It's not that he's chinny. He ate some bombs that put him out. That happens in boxing. That happens. If you decide that everybody who got hurt is chinny, golly, my people, like 98% of boxers is chinny. Y'all don't remember when people were saying that Crawford is chinny? 10 years later, they still bring up Gamboa. Think about it. Over 10 years, over 3 divisions, and they still like, Gamboa hurt him at 135. Imagine what Canelo's going to do to him. That shit was over 10 years ago. So, no, the guy's not chinny at all. Jake Paul doesn't have the skills to land the type of shot that he's going to need to stop him. It's that simple. You have to take this into consideration. Anthony Joshua is a guy who won a gold medal in the Olympics. Turns pro, becomes heavyweight champion of the world, defends the title a bunch of times, loses it, gets it again. Now he's a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. Jake Paul lost to Tommy Fury, my peoples. To Tommy Fury. That's the guy that beat him. Now, I gotta say, to his credit, today, Jake Paul is a lot better than when he lost to Tommy Fury. I give him credit for that. He has gotten better. Because that's the one thing, my peoples. Look, we have to accept reality. Jake Paul's a boxer. The people that say that he's a fake boxer, that he's not a real boxer, no. That's not reality. You just don't like the guy. He's a boxer. If you take a guy at 22 years old and you take him to a gym, the type of gyms that Jake Paul is being trained in, and you use the same trainers, the same resources that Jake Paul's using, the same nutritionists and all that, and you do that for 6-7 years, you're gonna have a boxer. You're gonna have somebody that knows how to box. So Jake Paul's a boxer. He's not gonna be an elite level boxer. He's never gonna be a championship caliber boxer. But he's a boxer, my people. He definitely is a real boxer. But he's facing somebody who is a world championship caliber fighter. And then the person he's fighting is a lot bigger and a lot stronger than he is. This is the whole recipe for a brutal knockout. Devastating blow, ladies and gentlemen. That type of knockout. Kawhi Elliott, salute, King. Just got finished from my workout. Let's get it. Wilder versus Usyk. And the new. Ooh, you ready for that type of smoke? We digress. We've been talking about AJ and Jake Paul. That fight's going to be big, but my peoples. We first have to understand that this fight right here can happen. And it's probably going to happen. But Deontay Wilder, because of that equalizer, is always going to be a factor. The killer instinct, does he have it? We don't know. But I will say, a knockout puncher, somebody who's been world champion, who held those titles, who defended those titles, he got a chip on his shoulder. He got money. He don't got to fight. He don't need to get in the ring again. He got champions. they want to retire as a world champion. He want to show people I can still do it. I can still win it all. So he could be dangerous, man. He could be dangerous. Look at George Foreman. I watched George Foreman versus Michael Moorer live on TV, not in person. And Michael Moorer beat his ass for 11 rounds. Well, 10. When did the knockout come in that fight? Was it the 10th, the 11th? Can't remember right now. Y'all could refresh my recollection. When did George Foreman knock Michael Moorer out? I know it was 10, 11, 12 maybe even. I know it was real late into the fight. Was it the last round or the 11th? Damn, I can't remember, man. Chat, help me out here, man. Y'all got me cooked over here. But whatever round Michael Moorer got knocked out by George Foreman, the 10th, there you go, the lunatic librarian, 10th round. And if you watch that fight, it looked like George Foreman couldn't win it. Michael Moorer was too fast, too agile, too mobile. And George Foreman just seemed like he just couldn't do it. But that one punch equalizer, that's all he needed. When that punch, that right hand landed there, boom! Bro, I couldn't believe it. I saw Michael Moorer go down, and it didn't even look like it was that hard. You watch it, but I know because I've been in the ring. Foreman put his whole body weight on it. Boom! But it wasn't one of those punches that looks flashy. It wasn't like a boom. It was more from right there, like boom. And it just landed flush. He had attempted that punch multiple times already and missed it. And it finally landed and absolutely turned Michael Moorer's electricity off. So, when you talk about Deontay Wilder, he has that factor, my peoples. He has that it factor that you could be whooping my ass, but if this joint land, you cooked. Posted track, Big George hand out punishment and takes it. Big George Foreman, man, was the truth. Rest in peace. He knocked Michael Moorer out in the 10th round. It was a slow steamroller. Man, it was a nasty shot. Landed flush. You saw Michael Moorer, he just wasn't there. He was out of it. Entertainment. What's up, my people? Salute, family. Bam. Posted track. You ever seen that walking uppercut? Oh, my God, bro. Have I seen it? That was brutal. Brutal. Boom. My mans ate that thing flush. I've seen other fighters land that shot, but not like that. I'm talking about guys in smaller weight classes that they move forward and land it real quick. But like a power shot to, nah, man. Ain't nobody doing it like that. Big George landed that walking uppercut. Like he was trying to get him out of there in brutal fashion with no regard for human life. Kawhi Elliott, if Wilder just keep a jab in his face to make Usyk keep resetting and the right connect, it's over. Listen, man. Alexander Usyk is a guy who can take a shot. It's a guy who's been hit with big shots and taken them. So that's the thing, man. There's some fighters that you're not going to stop, but you got to beat them up. I see Alexander Usyk like that. By the way, I said that about Sam Noakes before he fought Abdullah Mason. I say, yo, Sam Noakes, he not the type of fighter that you're going to knock him out. You're going to have to beat him up for 12 rounds. He ain't going nowhere. And people was telling me, yeah, but he never fought Abdullah. He never fought Abdullah's power. There's fighters out there that it don't matter what power you bring in, they're gonna take that. They're gonna eat those. Like a Pitbull Cruz, it don't matter where you bring it, he gonna eat that. You're gonna have to beat him up for 12 rounds. You wanna beat him, beat him up for 12 rounds. You're gonna have to. That's all you got. No matter. Wilder never throws the jab enough. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Look, if me, I would advise Wilder to get one of these world-class trainers. Go work with Bomac. Go work with any of these guys, man. Go work with Teddy Atlas. You could work with one of the old school guys. But come on, you had some guy that you knocked out. You lump a guy up, and then you bring him on as your trainer. This motherfucker had you practicing a 360. And then you got knocked out doing that same 360 on Big Bang Zhang. What the fuck is going on, baby? Did you guys see that? When Wilder was practicing that old... I'm like, what the fuck they practicing? And then he did a 360 on Big Bang Zhang. So, you need a real trainer. I say for Wilder to be able to win at the highest level again, he need a real trainer, man. He don't need to have people that he knocked out in the past. Eye for eye. Jay, is he crazy? Alexander Usyk is not going to stand in one place. Wilder will not catch him. That's the thing, man. Usyk, he's very hard to hit. You know, with that type of shot, it's hard. It's hard to catch him with that. Look, he was right in front of Fury. Fury couldn't do it. Poster track, Zhang made Wilder look like an amateur. Made it look bad. And Big Bang Zhang is a guy who can fight, obviously. So it's not like he lost to a bum. He lost to somebody. But still, my peoples, Deontay Wilder, no matter who beat him, who he lost to and all of that, he still got that equalizer that if it lands, it can all change. Will he land that on Usyk? The odds are against it. The odds are against him knocking out Usyk. But it can happen. Don't get it twisted. It can happen. And if he knock Usyk out, he's a heavyweight champion of the world right there, unified. Just like that. Exposilla. Jake's footwork will dance around Usyk, make him look like a bum. I don't know how you figure that, but okay, cool story. Poster track. I was impressed. No Tokai. Did you see the Gabe Owners fight? I did not see it, my brother. Did not see it. My peoples. The topic of conversation, y'all know this is a Saturday episode of Boxing for Breakfast. So we do a recap of what we've been talking about throughout the week, what we've been seeing. Let's do this recap for y'all real quick. Bam. So, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson. Come on now. We about to get that smoke. We about to get that smoke. Let me tell you that before these guys had agreed to fight each other, I did 5 different polls. When Teofimo Lopez was trying to make that fight with Jerome Busanis and it fell through, I said, you guys think he should fight Shakur or somebody else? My peoples, I did 5 or 6 different polls, and people always voted against Teofimo fighting Shakur. No, go fight this person, go fight that person. It's a better fight over there somewhere. Shakur got so much hate that the people who say he don't fight nobody, they don't want him to fight nobody, so they could keep saying that. They don't want him to fight big fights, fight stars. So what happens if he beat Shakur? If he beat Teofimo? What happened if he beat Teofimo? Oh, but that's only one big win. Oh, but Teofimo's got beat by Cambosos. Oh, but like it's gonna be a new one. And a new one is gonna keep following him, just like a new one has always followed Terrence Crawford. Same way. Post a track. Teofimo gonna kill that boy. Shakur's a boy. I don't know how you came up with that. They the same age, but all right. Well, I'll shut up. Then put him with Ryan. We'll see. They're gonna fight each other. Are people gonna give Shakur credit? I doubt it, because I had a lot of people on this show tell me that William Zepeda was gonna beat Shakur up, that he's too strong, that he's gonna apply too much pressure, that Shakur hands too brittle, all of this stuff, that Shakur is gonna be running and Zepeda's gonna be chasing him and cutting off the ring. Bait the shit out of Zepeda from inside the phone booth. Everybody had to stay quiet. And now all of a sudden, Zepeda's nobody though. He ain't nobody. Shakur beat fighters and turn them into nobodies. Crazy. They're nobodies as soon as he beat them. So this fight right here, January 31st, is going to give us a great start to the year. Great start to the year, my peoples. And it's one of those fights where you see all these predictions going either way. People saying Shakur is going to make it look easy. Shakur is going to dance circles around him. And then there's the people that say, nah, yo, Teofimo going to beat him up. Beat him up. Now, I do believe that this is going to be a very competitive fight. You know, both guys may actually face adversity. It might be one of those type of showdowns. But when they finally get into it, because I think they're going to start off cautious, we're going to see fireworks. You see how people say that Shakur ain't doing nothing, it's just going to be running and all that? Look what happened with William Zepeda. Got beat up. Beat him up. And people say he was going to be running the whole fight. Look how that played out for Zepeda. Ask Zepeda if he felt Shakur was running. Walked out of that fight looking like a Ninja Turtle. Come on, my people. How he walked out of that fight looking goofy as hell. I'ma chase him around. I'ma beat him up. He don't got nothing to hold me back. Got beat up. That's what happened. Shakur didn't get no credit for that fight after people say he was gonna get beat up. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Now we're gonna get Shakur versus Teofimo. By the way, my people, I will be making my official prediction on this fight only on Box Center 2.0. Check out the link right there. Click on it. Subscribe to that channel. Exclusive content. All the videos that are on Box Center 2.0 only drop on that channel, my people. Nowhere else. Not on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere. Only on Box Center 2.0. And Goofiest of the Oofiest goes live on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Only on Box Center 2.0, my peoples. Now, in this recap, I got to point out Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis. People keep asking them to fight each other. People keep saying Shakur needs to fight Keyshawn. Keyshawn needs to fight Shakur. Topuria is the best boxer, the UFC, that's for sure. Huh? You talking about Topuria in the UFC? Keyshawn and Shakur, my guy, get with the program over here. Look. A lot of people still clinging on to the idea that they should fight each other. Keyshawn gotta fight Shakur. Shakur gotta fight Keyshawn. We don't like that they not fighting each other. I'm actually looking at it from a whole different perspective. Why am I looking at it from a whole different perspective? Because they friends in real life. They not industry friends, right? They be in touch with each other when they not fighting. They help each other out. with training camps, all of that stuff. They friends, right? I want you guys to think about this. Shakur got options to fight other people and make millions of dollars. Keyshawn got options to fight other people and make millions of dollars. He might actually fight Richardson Hitchens next. I would love to see that fight, by the way. Both guys can fight different people and make millions. Both guys are rich right now. They don't have to fight each other to satisfy the fans. They don't have to fight each other for money-hungry ideals. They both making money. They both making millions. But just remember, Jay Smith told you this. Some of you know it, some of you don't. You can make money, but you can't buy friends. Don't get it twisted, my peoples. You can't buy friends. Remember, I told you that. So when you have real friends and you don't sell them out for money, that means that they both real. I actually commend them for not selling their friendship for money. Because in this new social media age, that's all people think and talk about. They can make money. They can make a bag. They can make... Everybody not thirsty to make the most money and the biggest payday and the most pay-per-views. And everybody's not hungry like that. They good, my people. They both wealthy. They both making millions. Eye for eye. If you beat Teo, then become ring champion like Terrence is a ring champion and it's free, that's what matters. Come on now. You want to beat Teofimo Lopez. If he beats him, I'm not making a prediction yet, but if he beats Teofimo Lopez, guess what? He's going to climb to the top 5 on the pound-for-pound list. Remember that I told you that. Right now, Shakur is consistently ranked in the 6th or 7th spot. I think right now he's in spot number 6 in the pound-for-pound rankings, the ring rankings. Post a track. I don't know what's up with Tank, but Tank got to fight more. Shakur should challenge Tank. Maybe one day that fight happens. Simon says, I think Anthony Joshua by decision is a good bet. I got Anthony Joshua winning. I got him winning the fight, but I got him winning it by brutal knockout, to be honest. Post a track. Ring champion is the most important belt today, right? I mean, it's all a matter of opinion. Simon says, Terrence Crawford versus Jake would be a good fight. I think Jake would have knocked out Tank. Nah, Jake definitely was not gonna knock Tank out. Definitely. He was gonna get beat up and outclassed and made to look easy. Made to look like a goofball. So again, my peoples, the whole thing with Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, people wanted them to fight each other. I get people want to see it, but it's not gonna happen. And like I said, man, I respect those guys for not selling their friendship, for saying, nah, we close like that. We don't have to fight each other. We don't have to do it. F y'all. F y'all. Now, Richardson Hitchens versus Keyshawn Davis. Ooh. That fight may happen early next year. Imada, 210. Keys to victory for Teo and Shakur. All right. I give you the keys to victory. Shakur Stevenson, you guys know that he has great footwork. You guys know about the step back counter, the jab, the punch placement. I say that the only way that you can beat a Shakur Stevenson is if you can overwhelm him. The guy that beats Shakur fights like a Maidana. Not necessarily with the wild punches, but with the high punch output. And obviously a lot of skill behind that. Teofimo Lopez is a skilled fighter. So for him to win this fight, he's going to have a very high punch output because you know that Shakur is going to make you miss. Shakur is the guy who hit the least in boxing. So if we go by the stats, if you want to land some and you want to be consistent, you have to throw a lot of punches. You have to go in there. If you're going to stand in there and fight his pace, you're getting cooked. So the keys to victory for Teofimo Lopez, he has to have a high punch output and he has to press the action consistently. That's the keys to victory for Teofimo Lopez. He has to work behind that jab. We know that Shakur has a great jab, so Teofimo Lopez has to match that energy, has to use that jab. And of course, Teofimo got to be ready for his counter punching. That's it. What's the keys to victory for Shakur Stevenson? Number one, the footwork. Control the range. As long as you control the range, Teofimo, he's not going to be able to use those combinations like he likes. Keep him in that range. Outside of that jab, make sure that you make him pay every time that he closes the gap. That's the most disruptive thing that you can do to a fighter who's smaller than you. Make him pay every time he closes the gap, because now that makes him, number one, hesitate to get on the inside. Number two, when he's going on the inside, he's thinking about what's coming in. And that affects how effective he can be. Make him pay every time coming in. Outbox him. Do what he does. Counter punch him. Step back. Boom. Counter. Lateral movement. Give Teofimo them angles. And then, of course, strategically beat him on the inside. Strategically, you see, that's what the masters do. They go bam, 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 and move, right? Bam, 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 and move. But then you already got used to that. Bam, 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 and move. So before you know it, when you go in for the kill and you get tapped, you stay right there and you don't realize, oh no, I'm staying. This time it's not moved. This bam, 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 bam. And now you get lumped up on the inside. Now I move. So that's the ebb and flow. Shakur is going to outbox you strategically, get in there, put all type of hands on you. That's the keys to victory for both sides. Pussy track, power beats Shakur. He fights from the outside. You see, that's the problem. You probably said power was going to be a factor with Canelo versus Crawford. What round you had Canelo knocking Crawford out in? Be honest. Pussy track, be honest. We honest in this channel. What round did you have Canelo knocking Crawford out in? Because I think that fight should have taught you that power doesn't dictate who wins, who lost. You see, I'm here to teach you that. Power never decides winners and losers. Skills. Skills pay the bills. Never say, oh, because of power, this guy's going to win. It just doesn't work that way. Over and over, that logic gets proven wrong consistently. I had Crawford knocking out Canelo in the 10th. Yeah. I don't believe you, but okay. I definitely don't believe you. So Canelo didn't have the power? That was different over there? I don't believe you, bro. At all. Victor J, what was tougher to pick for you, Bud over Canelo or Shakur over Teo? That's a good question. Well, to be honest, Bud versus Canelo, that was easy. But I think the reason that was easy for me is because as soon as Crawford beat Madrimov, I was already calling for the Canelo fight. And people was laughing at me. That fight will never happen. There's weight classes for a reason. Canelo would never fight him. Like, people was just going ham on me because I said Crawford should move up 2 divisions, challenge Canelo. So that was an easy prediction for me to make. This one is harder, but I already know who's going to win. to be honest with you. It was a little bit harder to make because I had to consider the fact that, again, Shakur's moving up in weight just like Crawford was. So I had to consider some factors, but I already know who's going to win that fight. They have it, my G. I already know who's going to win it. Ask no. Are you having fun? What kind of question is that? Am I having fun? Post it track. Honestly. Imada 210. So Jay Smith. If you are a betting man, I'm assuming you have Shakur winning because I'm about to bet 300 against Teo. Alright, so I'm going to tell you like this. My official prediction, I'm going to make it on Box Center 2.0, which, by the way, the link is right there. Subscribe. I'm going to give you the Jay Stradamus prediction. I'm going to tell you 100%. 100% who's going to win that fight. But you got to go to Box Center 2.0, subscribe, and you're going to see it right there, my guy. I promise you 100% who's winning this fight. We're going to flip your money. Post the track. I thought Boss Power was going to translate. I always thought Canelo Power was overrated. Okay. That doesn't make a lot of sense with what you said about Shakur losing because of Power, but it seems like you kind of switched logics over there. Francis Coel, Lopez winning or tie. Ooh. Lopez winning or a tie. It's going to be a good fight. Going to be a good fight. The Magic Mountain, are you human? Well, would a human block you for that dumbass question, or would a robot block you for that dumbass question? Figure it out. Welcome to the Black Party, dummy. That's how we doing it, my peoples. Poster track. I didn't think Crawford was going to be so careful. Me thinking he knocked out Saul was a bit crazy. But I thought Saul was getting old. Yeah, I don't believe you one bit. To me, all of that stuff, you making it up right now. But, like I said, Keyshawn Davis, Richardson Hitchens, that fight might actually happen. We was talking about it earlier in the week. I think it's going to be a good one. This is another fight of somebody moving up in weight, challenging a world champion. That's how it's going down. That's how it's going down, my people. That's going to be... Eddie Hearn was there when they was going back and forth. So I think it's possible. I think it's possible, my peoples. Now, here's a fight that I want to talk to you guys about. The Monster, Naoya Inoue versus David Allen Picasso. We talked about this fight, I think, on Wednesday's episode of Boxing for Breakfast. My peoples, you see this dude right here? He's not a cherry pick. He's not a cherry pick, my peoples. Post a track. What's up? You even though you don't believe my rhetoric. Salute, but when you talk about power and then your stance changes, when you get to this division, you don't convince me, bro. But it's okay. Listen. Box Center is not about us agreeing. Everybody agreeing with each other. It's not about that. That's what make Boxing for Breakfast what it is. A lot of people come through, have a different opinion, have a different point of view. We go back and forth. It's all good, my G. We talking boxing. We love the sweet science. At 10:30 in the morning, we talking boxing. It don't get no better. Saturday morning. Now, Naoya Inoue versus David Picasso. I think this is an interesting fight, my people. I really do. Everybody saying he's going to get knocked out. He's going to get smoked. It's going to be easy work. People think he's a cherry pick. Let me tell you. Check him out. YouTube a couple of his fights. This guy can fight. This guy can fight, my peoples. And I'm not telling you that he's going to win. Obviously, Naoya Inoue is going to be the favorite. But David Picasso is not gonna be there to get knocked out, to be made to look bad, to get beat up. This guy's a young Mexican fighter who can actually fight. He's just not famous. He's just not known like that. He can fight, my people. And let me tell you something interesting about David Picasso. He was actually supposed to fight the monster last year. They had it set up and everything. Oh no, earlier this year I think it was. They had it set up and everything. They were supposed to fight either late last year or earlier this year. I don't remember. And David Picasso's people didn't want him to fight the monster. Or at least that's what came out. I saw an interview with Juan Manuel Marquez say, yo, this kid can fight, but he's not ready for the monster. My peoples, I'm going to take a 1 minute commercial break. I got to get my son something to drink. Y'all know I take care of my son. Be a good father, my peoples. That's one thing I got to tell you. Be a good father. Damn, that should feel good. Get some juice for my son real quick. I'll be right back, y'all. Quick commercial break. We talking boxing. But I want to tell you about David Picasso, my peoples. Google him. Look him up. This guy can fight. I'll be right back, y'all. What the fuck am I looking for over here? There's a button I'm looking for that I can't find. My peoples, we back in the building. Back in the building and talking boxing. So, check this out, man. David Picasso, by the way, welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get this healthy dosage of sweet science, early in the morning. I've been going for almost an hour and a half, and I don't even got 30 likes yet. Come on, my people. Double tap that screen. You don't need to be ghost watching. But I'm talking about David Allen Picasso because a lot of people think that he's a cherry pick, that he's a nobody, that he's... This guy can fight, my peoples. He's for real. I'm not making any predictions. I'm not telling you that he's going to win the fight. But I'm telling you that he's for real. And you know what impresses me about this guy that it's just crazy to even fathom it, to believe it. Bro, how this dude is literally a neurosurgeon. How do you study in the medical field, in a branch of the medical field, neurosurgeon, that takes I don't know how many years in college, and yet you still manage to work your way to become a world caliber type of fighter? What type of IQ do you have in that brain, bro? What do we got going on here? This dude is an alien. Look, the fact that he's a medical student at that level in that branch, and he's able to accomplish this much as a boxer, that tells you a lot about this dude. Come on now. Come on, my people. Just the fact that I'm telling you this dude's a medical student, you know, I don't know if he's already a neurosurgeon. I don't know if he's already graduated. And at the same time, he's going to be fighting Naoya Inoue next. That, my peoples, that's Naoya Inoue's next opponent. David Picasso. Look up his box rank. He's undefeated. I think he's 30-0 or 31-0, something like that. There you go. He's 31-0. That's Naoya Inoue's next opponent. And people think that he's a cherry pick because he's not a big star. And you know, in the lower divisions, a lot of the guys are not, you know, big names like that. But this guy can fight. This guy can fight. He's going to make it interesting. I don't know how the fight plays out. I haven't made my official prediction. But he's not going to be the cherry pick that people think he is. You see how people said Abdullah Mason was going to knock Sam Noakes out? And I try to tell people, like, yo, nah, man, listen. Sam Noakes is the type of fighter that you're going to have to beat him up. You're not just going to knock him out. You're going to have to beat him up for 12 rounds. That's how you're going to beat him. And you saw it. If you saw Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes, David Allen Picasso is not a guy that's going out there to get knocked out. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how this fight plays out. I think it's going to be a lot more interesting than what some people believe. Because like I told y'all, man, I've been... Picasso, like, look, when you say Inoue is going to knock him out, I can tell you don't even know who the guy is. Right? You don't even know who the guy is. You never heard of him. You never seen him. She's like, yeah, he's going to knock him out. And guess what? Batman. When Tim Tszyu was going to fight Bakram Murtasaliev, he was like, oh, yeah, he's going to knock him out. Tim Tszyu going to knock him out because I never heard of no Bakram Murtasaliev. So, and Tim Tszyu going to knock him out. And what happened? Murtasaliev beat the shit out of Tim Tszyu. I'll be right back, my peoples. Quick commercial break, 30 seconds. We talking boxing. Now, yeah, you know, versus David Allen Picasso. That's going to be a good fight. Take it from Jay Smith. My peoples, we back in the building. Batman. No, Tim and Inoue, two different levels. Inoue is a great, but I never compare it. I don't know why you're saying that. I'm not comparing them two. I'm saying you didn't know Bakram Mortasaliev, so you would have assumed that he a nobody. He's just gonna get knocked out. That's your logic. I'm just going by your same logic. You're saying that a guy that you don't know, a guy you never seen, is gonna get knocked out. Your logic is if you don't know them, they bumps. This guy's an undefeated fighter, 31-0. You never seen him. You don't know his style. He's a bump because you don't know him. That's the logic. That logic, man, sometimes it don't go too well. So I'm not sitting here telling you that he's gonna win the fight. Don't get it twisted. But that he's just gonna be washed and made to look easy, it's not gonna go down like that. Definitely not going down like that. My peoples, Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul. I've seen some who say that Jake Paul is gonna win this fight. That Anthony Joshua is chinny. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening, fellas. Let me keep it 100. I see Jake Paul going to sleep brutally, in brutal fashion. That's what I see happening. In brutal fashion. Post it track. He got 31 wins, no losses. He's obviously good enough for managers to find him good matchups. You know, he's beating some good opponents too. If you look at the resume, the thing is that people who don't know shit about boxing think that only the famous fighters are really good. And the ones that are not famous that they don't know, oh yeah, those are bumps. But he's beating some good opponents. It's going to be a good fight. Side, it'll be a brutal beating. I see a brutal beating right here too. Beat down. That type of situation for Jake Paul. And this week, my peoples, one topic of conversation that kept revisiting us, Mauricio Sulaiman and the WBC opting to strip Terence Crawford of his WBC title. Everybody already knows the story. The WBC wanted Crawford to pay $300,000 for the sanctioning fee. Crawford said, no, I'm not paying that because, look, the other sanctioning bodies, they took the money I gave them. And Sulaiman was like, nope. They stripped him, right? Now, what started the whole back and forth, the whole drama? My peoples, I'm about to give you this recap of this whole situation. Hit that like button, man. Let's get me to 30 likes at least. I've been cooking for an hour and a half. An hour and a half of cooking. And I don't even got 30 likes, man. Double tap that screen. You don't have to ghost watch. So, Mauricio Sulaiman decided to strip Terence Crawford of his WBC title, right? And then there's the aftermath of this whole situation. This whole saga. What is the aftermath? Mauricio actually threw the first shot. What was the first shot? When Mauricio did an interview, he goes on video and says, you know, he didn't even apologize and wasn't even grateful. And you know what? I'm glad it's over. Kind of like treated Terence Crawford like you ain't nobody. The belt is important, not you. But what do we watch on TV? You watch the belts on TV beating each other up? You watch the belts putting together combinations? Or you watch the fighters? They don't understand that. They feel like the belts are bigger than the fighters. Okay, he decided to strip them. But after stripping them, he goes on that little rant on TV, on an interview. So Terence Crawford responded to him. Who are you? What do you mean apologize? Who do you think I am? Who are you? Fuck your belt. Fuck the WBC belt. What are you talking about? That was his reaction. So Mauricio Sulaiman obviously had already stripped him of the WBC title. Then he said Crawford is banned from the WBC, so he won't be fighting WBC ranked opponents. So you see the fallout that has happened from Crawford not paying that sanctioning fee. And then fans are divided. You have a portion of fans who say no, Crawford shouldn't allow them to rob him of his money like that. And then you have the fans that say no, you got to pay his fee. Fans are divided over this whole situation. Side, the belts don't have highlight reels. Let me know if you're watching videos of belts or if you're watching belts knocking other belts out. Post a track. They have to defend the belt within a year, right? Otherwise, let it go, strip. I'm not sure the time frame that they have, but it doesn't really matter because Crawford had already stated that he was going to 160 to fight Johnny Beck at the time, who had not popped 30 yet. So within probably 3-4 months, he was going to vacate on his own to go conquer another division. Mauricio Sulaiman knows that Terence Crawford was not planning on defending that title. So if he would have gave him money, whatever he gave the other sanctioning bodies, that's free money. You're not even going to defend that title, and you're going to vacate on your own within a few months. He could have did that. This wouldn't even be a subject of conversation. If he would have just took whatever Crawford gave him, allowed him to vacate 4 or 5 months down the line, whenever it was, he would have vacated on his own. But you wanted to play the power move. What I say, oh, I'm taking it from you. This divided fans. People taking both sides of the situation. And all I have to say is, most of the fans who have sided with the WBC are the fans who had Terence Crawford getting knocked out by Canelo Alvarez, are the fans who had Crawford losing to Errol Spence, are the fans who say Crawford ain't beat nobody and he only beat tomato cans. They're the ones now siding with the sanctioning body. That's simple. Post a track. So Crawford was paying just to hold the title. I mean, the sanctioning fee, that's what everybody does. That's literally what everybody does with the sanctioning fee. You pay so you can hold the title. Because if you're going to move up or down, obviously you're not going to defend it. At that point, you're going to pay the fee just to hold on to it until you leave the division. Simple as that. Any fighter who's going to be moving up or down in weight is only going to pay a fee to hold on to the belt. And that's the problem. Because right now, who the hell doesn't believe that Crawford is no longer the undisputed champion at 168? That vacant title is a paper belt. That paper title is a paper belt. That title, that vacant title, is a paper belt. Post a track. I don't agree with you. Gotta defend. No, you don't. That's your opinion. You gotta defend if you're gonna stay in the division. But if you're gonna move back down, why would you have to defend? Why would you have to defend if you're going to 160? The natural thing to do would be to vacate. Now, if you're gonna stay in the division, then yes, you have to defend. Of course you have to defend. But it was made clear that he went up to 168 to fight Canelo Alvarez. Mauricio Sulaiman knows this. You see, the whole problem here is that Mauricio thought that Canelo was going to knock Crawford out. Just like most people, Mauricio was expecting Crawford to get knocked out in this fight. But Crawford had different plans. Showed up and showed out. And won in a way that you can't say it was a robbery. You can't say they took it from Canelo. Beat him. Like at this point, people got to say, yeah, he's better. Yeah, he's better than Canelo. You could want a rematch. The rematch is going to play out the same way or worse. That's just the reality of the way the fight played out. Canelo got outboxed, outclassed. Post a track. Give up the belt, and then you have paper champ. Strip him, and then you have paper champ. What are we talking about? Strip him, and then you got paper champ. There's going to be somebody fighting for that belt. We don't believe you. You're not a 168 champ. We don't believe you. The next 168 champ is a paper champ. That's just the reality. That's just the reality. Mauricio Sulaiman made that decision because he says, well, those are the rules. But he came up with a number. The $300,000, that's a number that he came up with. There ain't no rules. That's a number you just decided that they got to give you that. Crawford said no, and you reacted. That's just the reality. Batman, whether Crawford has belts or not, still pound for pound champ. But that's what I'm telling you. He still feels pretty undisputed to me at 168. Mauricio stripping him doesn't change that frame of mind. I still think he's the undisputed champ. All you did was make a paper champ. Now you're going to have two people fight for that vacant title. You made a paper champ. Or you're going to make a paper champ. Because everybody know that the real 168 champ is Terence Crawford. We all know it. But Mauricio Sulaiman wants Canelo Alvarez to be the guy with that green belt. What he did, stripped Terence Crawford, made it vacant, got two guys fighting for it, and whoever wins, who he's going to have to fight? Canelo Alvarez. They can't wait to put that belt back in Canelo's waist. Post a track. Some say the best middleweight ever. I don't know about all that, but he definitely good. Some say the best middleweight ever. Who's the best middleweight ever? I don't know about all that, but he definitely good. When you say the best middleweight ever, I'm not sure who you're talking about. Look, I'm going to say. Oh, Crawford, okay. Forget best. Look, when it's all said and done, Crawford is going to be in the conversation for greatest fighter of all time. When we look at the accomplishments and we start comparing, I already got him top 10 all time. Top 10 all time great right now. And it's not 10. I'm saying top 10, but it's not 10. When we look at the accomplishment and we make all the comparisons, he's going to be one of the greatest of all time. But look at how people say that Terence Crawford had to pay the fee, that he had to do what everybody else did. I seen a video of Danny Garcia saying, I paid millions. He got to pay. You know what that sounds like to me? Like he's saying, yo, I got jerked for years, so he got to get jerked too. That's what I got from that. Oscar De La Hoya, yo, he was in Shannon Sharp's show. I posted the video, by the way. And in that show, he says, I would prefer to buy the belts at a flea market for a couple $100. The only real belt is the Ring Magazine belt. Because the Ring belt is number one beating number two. The two best fighting each other. That's the only way you get that Ring belt. That other stuff is trinkets. Oscar De La Hoya said that himself. But now that Terence Crawford having problems with Sulaiman, he jumped in the WBC bandwagon. Oh, Terence Crawford acting like a kid. He should pay the fee too. He got to pay like everybody else. They want to see people paying. No. Let me explain to you something, my people. That I need you to understand this. This is what Boxing for Breakfast is about right here. telling you what's going on. Think about Riddick Bowe when he threw his WBC belt in the trash can. Think about Miguel Cotto when he didn't want to pay the sanctioning fee and they stripped his ass. Think about more recently other fighters who've been stripped. Think about Floyd Mayweather when he spoke out. When he spoke out against the sanctioning bodies. So this is nothing new, my people. You have fighters throughout history telling us these people corrupt. They robbing the fighters. They've been trying to tell us that. They've been telling us that. Literally. You know what's the difference between back in the day and now? Riddick Bowe didn't have a platform. Miguel Cotto didn't have a platform. Today in 2025, my peoples, you need to understand, a fighter like Terence Crawford, he has a huge platform. Millions of followers across social media platforms, subscribers on YouTube, supporters all over the place. So now, when you do dirty shit on him, it's not like when you did it to other people in the past that he just gets swept under the rug and nobody really talk about it, nobody really paid mind. Now, with that big ass platform that he got, when he say after WBC, everybody start looking at y'all funny. Everybody start looking at y'all like, oh, what's up with these people? Everybody start remembering the funny shit that y'all been doing. And it all start coming back. You start getting bad publicity. So are you really benefiting from this? You not, because now the fighters can fight back. And guess what? TKO is right around the corner. But not just TKO, there's other boxing leagues. And TKO is gonna pour billions into boxing. Fighters are gonna have options. They have a platform. Somebody like Crawford who has a bunch of endorsements. Mauricio and the WBC, y'all not bigger than Terence Crawford. You're gonna find that out. Because what you guys are gonna see is people following in Terence Crawford's path. Mauricio Sulaiman threw an alley-oop to Dana White and His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. When he stripped Terence Crawford of that WBC title, he went like that, look. Alley-oop to Dana White and Turkey. So they could slam dunk that shit the way they want. The Hydro Grind, good morning, my peoples. My brother, salute. So this whole situation, let's see who's going to come out on the losing end. I'm telling you, it's going to be Mauricio in the WBC. Crawford is still going to get big fights. Is still going to get big money. And every time Crawford step in the ring, people are going to talk about the WBC in a negative light. You diminish the brand with that move, homie. You done messed up. The Hydro Grind. I like the overtime boxing format. Overtime boxing. It's not just a format. It's that they're bringing in real talented fighters. The first time that I saw Elijah Pierce, that's where I saw him at. There's a lot of fighters that I saw them for the first time on OTX. If a fight is a draw, one more round for overtime, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. They got their own belt too. Yeah, they got their own system. They got their own league. Poster track. Is Crawford going to fight at light heavyweight again? No. We'll never see him at light heavyweight again. He's going to go to 160, try to become undisputed, and retire. You have to understand, bro. Crawford is 39 years old. How many more fights is he going to have in him? How many more fights at 39 years old? And you're already wealthy. You already got well over $100 million. You're not going to be washed up, getting beat up out there. Oh, we're a light heavyweight. What the hell are we talking about? It's just not going to happen. It's just not gonna happen. He's not gonna fight. I think he meant. I'm assuming he meant 168. He's not gonna fight at 168 again. We're not gonna see him there. The Hydro Grind. Do you see that what Teofimo said, that Crawford shouldn't be considered 3-time undisputed because he doesn't have the WBC? The funny thing about that, I found that to be hilarious, bro. That was like the funniest shit ever. And I'm gonna tell you why. Teofimo Lopez, you guys know, when he beat Lomachenko, he captured 3 out of the 4 titles because Devin Haney had the other one that Lomachenko vacated because he didn't fight him. Teofimo called himself undisputed because he said technically Lomachenko should have been the guy. When he beat Josh Taylor had already been stripped. So he beat a Josh Taylor that didn't have all the belts. He said he was undisputed because technically Josh Taylor should have been the guy. So goddamn, for himself, without ever really being undisputed, he wanted to consider himself undisputed. Yet Terence Crawford, who actually was undisputed, he says, nah, he not undisputed. That shit don't make sense to me, bro. Está de pinga, Teofimo. Come on now. Let's be honest. Teofimo on some funny joint right there. Post a track. Teo got a big mouth. It sells. It sells. He sells. He got to stop with the racist stuff. That's all it is. Lately, he hasn't been doing it. I hope he never does it again, because racism is not something that you could joke with and then say, oh, I'm not racist, I was joking. No, your ass is racist. It's racist people that joke with racist shit. The Hydro Grind. So now he say that technically Crawford is not undisputed. Imagine that. He said he used that logic to say that Crawford is technically not undisputed, and he used that same logic to say that he technically was undisputed. Coño, loco, Teofimo está de pinga, vi. How does that even make sense? I'm trying to figure it out myself, bro. I don't understand how Teofimo logic works. Like, bro, you never been undisputed and wanted to technically make yourself undisputed. So the guy who actually is undisputed, you technically on making him? Golly. But it's like I told you. This topic of conversation is not going to go anywhere. Mauricio Sulaiman, trying to do it like that to Terence Crawford. He's going to be on the losing end of this battle. Look, I promise you, Dana White and His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh must have been celebrating when they found out that they decided to strip Terence Crawford. They must have been celebrating, my people. They must have been like, ooh, yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they stripped him. And the other 3 sanctioning bodies. They looking at the WBC like, yeah, go for your ass. Sulaiman, go for your ass. Because that's the funny thing about Sulaiman. He do whatever he want. He do whatever he want. Y'all remember when David Benavidez was the #1 challenger for the WBC for 2 years, and he was never mandated to fight Canelo? What happened? 2 years. You stripped Terence Crawford after a couple of weeks. 2 years. David Benavidez was the #1 challenger. Never mandated Canelo. Yo, either fight Benavidez or we gotta strip you, son. Never, because Canelo's his guy. That's his dude right there. So what did you do with all this stuff? Mauricio, the goofball Sulaiman, you put a spotlight on yourself. Because now we ask, damn, where all that money go to? All that money that you're getting from these fighters, where's it really going to? Where's all these fighters that you helping? Where's all these people that you helping with all that money? Where they at? Because it look like most of that money going to your pockets. The hydro grind, that Benavidez situation is just more proof that Sulaiman has his lips on Canelo's rear end. Man, listen. Them people got Kizak in their mid-mouth and everything. Hell's going on over there. And the thing is, Benavidez is the guy that was widely considered as someone who's gonna put a beating on Canelo. Like people expecting, like me myself, I was like, Benavidez is gonna stop him. If they fight, David Benavidez is gonna knock Canelo out, and it's gonna be in brutal fashion. Look at this dummy. You know how long it took you to put that comment in there, and that's the first thing you come up with? You a dummy. Welcome to the block party, you dummy. Jealous ass dummy. My peoples, welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Listen, this Saturday morning, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in. Damn, yo, 2 hours. 2 hours of cooking, bro. I couldn't even get to 40 likes. Golly. Yo, y'all been brutal this morning, my people. Supposed to try Canelo goes down. Yo, if Canelo fight David Benavidez, I would have expected him to get knocked out brutally. And Mauricio Sulaiman, no. Mauricio Sulaiman, no, like, yo, nah. We're not going to make our guy get beat up like this. We're not going to do this. This is our cash cow. This is the guy bringing in the millions. Why would we put him up against Benavidez? To brutalize him like that? Nah. We can't diminish the brand. That's what I'm telling you. When I saw Mauricio Sulaiman talking about, he didn't even apologize to me. I wanted to punch him in the mouth. Say no to violence, my peoples. No to violence. But I wanted to, inside my head, punch Mauricio Sulaiman in the mouth. Figuratively speaking, not literally. Golf ball. You're a golf ball, Mauricio. That's all I gotta say. But my peoples, we digressed. Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury could potentially happen next year. If this fight happens, I believe it's still gonna be a big fight. Yes, a few years too late. We wanted this fight to happen earlier, but we're going to get it, and we're going to watch it, and we're going to enjoy it. Because it's going to be an entertaining fight to watch. The Hydro Grind, are you watching the Pacheco fight tonight? Yes, sir. I'm going to be tuning in. I'm not going to be calling the fights tonight. I may go live just to enjoy the fights with you guys. So I'm going to just be watching. I'm not going to be calling them. So let's see. Maybe I'll go live and enjoy the show with you guys. Post a track. That dude been running the WBC since the 80s. I mean, his father was the president. And then his father passed it down to the son. That shit is a family business. They got a family business going on over there. My peoples, I'm about to get the hell out of here. I want to give a shout out. Everybody who tuned in, Poster Track, The Hydro Grind, and everybody else who tuned in, my peoples. Batman, Francis Noel, Imada 210 was in the building. Word up, the lunatic librarian was in the building. Who else, man? A lot of people was in the building this Saturday morning for this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I'm Jay Smith, my peoples. Y'all know what it is. Make sure you subscribe to Box Center 2.0. My peoples, Box Center 2.0 is going to be the only place where you can catch goofiest of the oofiest. In that live, you guys can actually call in and say what you got to say, whether you want to trash talk, whether you want to make a prediction, even if you want to argue with me. Goofiest of the oofiest is the show where we doing that. Subscribe to Box Center 2.0. The third episode of Goofiest of the Oofiest goes live on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Come on, my peoples. Batman, it's a racketeering organization. Bro, you couldn't say it any better than that. what they got going on, what kind of goofballery they got going on over there. Batman, love the show, my guy. Appreciate it, my brother. You already know what it is, man. Mondays through Saturdays, boxing for breakfast is on it. We on it, my peoples. As you can see, Batman, we not over here talking about conspiracies. We not making shit up out of thin air. We not trying to discredit fighters and try to discredit opponents and try to diminish wins. We not with the bullshit over here, my G. We talking that real shit. I'm glad you enjoy the show, my people. One love to everybody. I'm Jay Smith. I'm signing off. Salute to everybody who hit the like button, man, and salute to the haters who be ghost watching. At least you watch, man. Salute to everybody. I'm out of here, yo. Peace.